Hi, Dave Herb here, your Washington, D.C. tourist guide again. I'm on my way to Union Station. To get there, I take a bus. If you look at the sign behind me, you'll see buses for the C-15, the C-31. Either of them will work for me. I want to get across the river to the metro station. One interesting thing, if you use a city bus here, the fare that you pay, $2.25 if you're not a senior citizen. Then it's $1.10, but you have to get a special pass. The buses all have letters in front of them. You probably saw C-15, C-31. Anything that has a D or a C in front of the bus means the bus operates within the district. If it has an A in front of the bus, that means the bus operates heading toward Arlington or Alexandria. If it has an F in front of the bus, that means it's heading toward Fairfax County or Falls Church. If it has an M, that means it's heading to Montgomery County, which is north of the city. And if it has a P, that means it's heading to Prince George's County, east of the city. That'll help you a little bit. Also, if it has an X at the end of the letters and the numbers, like if it says C-15X, there's like a D1X, that means it's an express bus and has less stops. So let's get across the river on my bus, then I'll take the metro, and then we'll head to Union Station, and I'll see you there. So crossing the Anacostia River on the John Philip Sousa Bridge on Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast, on my way to the metro station. Now that I've crossed the Anacostia River over the John Philip Sousa Bridge, I'm here at the Potomac Avenue Metro Station. See the blue, orange, and silver stripes? That tells you at this station you can catch either the blue, orange, or silver line. We have 6 different colors: blue, orange, silver, yellow, red, and green. And I'm going to take this escalator down, and then this will take me right to Union Station. I do have to make one transfer to get on the red line though. Come aboard the train or in the metro itself, you'll also see the diagram of the metro there. You can see the different color lines. One of the first things you'll notice when you leave Union Station is how close you are to the Capitol building. There's the Capitol Dome with the Statue of Freedom on top. We are only about 3 blocks from the front door of Union Station to the Capitol building. Now behind me is Union Station. Let's turn around. And in front of Union Station is this magnificent fountain. This was designed by a sculptor named Lorado Taft and dedicated in 1912. Union Station behind it was dedicated in 1907. This is Christopher Columbus. I'm not here to debate the merits of the man. I know the history. I know there's a lot of negativity now associated with his name. I'm here to talk about the statue. To the left, you'll see a Native American representing the New World. To the right of Columbus, you see a European representing the Old World. You see the women of exploration on the prow of the ship. And on the above, you see a globe, and we're looking at the Western Hemisphere. I can see Africa, South America there. Of course, he traversed, from Europe to the Americas. I will say in 1912, when this was dedicated, you have to remember Italians and Irishmen were not very welcomed in this country. And when they dedicated this, it gave Italians a connection to the United States. It made them feel perhaps they had some historical say that they were American. This was pushed forward by the Knights of Columbus. There was a large parade held after its dedication with tens of thousands of people from that organization in the parade, military bands, floats, over 100,000 people in attendance at the dedication of this fountain, which the water was just turned on just recently, along with the 2 bowls to the east and west too. Let's go talk more about Union Station behind it. Now we're looking at the front of Union Station. Look at that magnificent building, designed by Daniel Burnham, dedicated in 1907, modeled after the gates of Constantine. In the foreground, we have a replica of the Liberty Bell. This was gifted to the United States in 1975 by the Netherlands to help us celebrate our bicentennial in 1976. Let's get a little closer to the arches here at Union Station at the front entrance. Let's zoom in a little bit. The characters up above the doors there. All figures from Greek history and mythology. All the way to the left, you have the Titan Prometheus, who was the first to have brought in Greek mythology fire from the gods to the humans. Then you have Thales next to him with the lightning bolt. He is considered the father of Western philosophy. Then you have Themis representing freedom with her Phrygian cap. See her cap is synonymous with a freedom cap. Apollo, and over to the right of Apollo you have Ceres, the goddess of agriculture, and all the way to the right you have Archimedes, who is considered to have been the first person to calculate pi. The words in between are from a ballad written by Virgil called Aeneid. It dealt with the tragedy after the Battle of Troy. If you remember the movie where Brad Pitt, who played Achilles, the Greeks captured and destroyed Troy, remember the Trojan horse, and the Trojans, led by Aeneas, fled and were said to have created the new city of Rome. And these are words from that ballad in between the figures. Let's go inside and see what it looks like in there. A little public service announcement. If you ever come out of Union Station and try to get an Uber, there's a real hassle for Uber drivers to come up here. They have to come up these two narrow lanes, and you can see how they're backed all the way around the circle. It can take 15 minutes for them to get here. So you might want to help them by going out onto the street on the circle. If you go down to that corner, you're at the Smithsonian Postal Museum. I recommend you go out there to get picked up, or the cabs come much more quickly in their dedicated lane. That's just a PSA. As we head in, check out this architecture, these vaulted arches here, the lamps hanging from the fixtures there, magnificent. I feel like I'm back in time. Once you come in the front door of Union Station, you enter the Grand Hall. This is a space that's 120 feet by 220 feet, 96-foot high ceilings. Those coffered ceiling that's plated with 24-karat gold. These sentinels around here were sculpted by the same sculptor who did the statues outside, Louis Saint-Gaudens. They are Roman sentinels, and the original plan was for them to have no shields. Get a better look at them. But I guess Roman centurions were naked from the bottom down, and when people saw the original design and found out that their anatomy was being exposed for all of us to see, those in charge required Saint-Gaudens to put shields in front of their anatomy. Little interesting tidbit there, the 46 sentinels of the Grand Hall. What's this over here to the side? Let's see what that hall is. Outside those doors is the Grand Hall from which we just came. We are now in the East Hall. This is a glamorous hall used primarily for special occasions. I read that Margaret Thatcher had her 70th birthday in here. It's used also by corporations. At one time, the president had a reception area and an office where he would come in from the east side and have privacy when he boarded a train. Look at these columns. They look like they're marble. The elaborate lighting fixtures, the Pompeian-style stenciling on the walls. What a gorgeous space. And it's now totally empty. It's just used for private events off the side of the Grand Hall. You can see the people out there from where I just came. Behind the Grand Hall, you have the counters for Amtrak. Look at the architecture, the soaring ceiling. And you have a shopping mall in here with some high-end shops and high-end restaurants up on the upper level up there. Just gorgeous back here. And in the lower level of Union Station, you have a food court with lots of choices, lots of seating for the more economically minded guests. So I'm going to head to my next stop at DC, leave Union Station. I encourage you to give me a call at 717-253-0692. Let me show you around DC. $200 for up to 8 hours at your pace. We go to historical sites if you want. We go to hidden treasures if you want. We get a bite to eat, but we take public transportation. We see DC like a local. Again, 717-253-0692. And if you like the more traditional tour of the monuments on the coach, check us out at DC Nation Tours and Travel. I work a lot with that organization. You'll see reviews for me on there and the company. We're a great company. We do these night tours. Again, that's DC Nation Tours and Travel. Just Google us and find our website for the more traditional tour. Either way, I hope to see you soon.